while we're talking about the cred ads, now this is interesting because often I struggle to find the target state as a writer because I'm a budding student. What type of an ad am I trying to build? Now, 10 years ago when I used to live in the UK, I remember we used to look forward to watching the ads in the theater before a movie or like sometimes on TV because their culture was so absurd for ads in particular where you could never guess what the ad is about. And this was a game we used to play with friends before a movie. We used to try to guess, okay, what is this ad about? It's about a motorbike. It could be about beer. It could be about furniture. And you'll never get it right. Interestingly, you've got these comments for some of the cred ads where some people have asked you, okay, what was the link between Rahul Dravid being a Gunda in Indiranagar and cred? Or what is the link between these cricketers being in the Backstreet Boys boy band and cred? Now, clearly, these brands keep coming back to you. So these are successful ads. But as a student now, I need to set the target because that will set the tone at the top, right? Am I trying to create a cohesive narrative? Like there's a story that involves the brand and its services, or am I just trying to create something that's engaging, memorable, has some shock value, is a funny piece of content on its own, and then I put the brand's name at the end, people will positively associate it. What works better?
No, it definitely has to have like cohesion. It definitely has to have like strong brand pull, like the ad, it's not that, that way you can just play pawn for the first 5 seconds of anything and then sell anything, right? So people will watch it. So I think this definitely needs to have, you need to be telling a story of the brand or like of whatever it needs to have a message, right? So that has to be planned. So there is no point going viral or creating something that everyone watches, but then they don't know what the ad is for, or there is no takeout of what it is. So, that doesn't work.
Even if they just remember the ad and they knew this brand made that ad, that's not good enough?
No, if that is not the motive with which you started. See, sometimes that is the motive. Like that comes from the client. Like, just need this brand to
awareness.
Be remembered. Like it has to be like it has to be remembered. Then when they remember it, we'll do the rest on what this brand is when they come to us. All right. Like, so different clients have different requirements. So, so that is just like a bomb awareness campaign. When they come to us, it's our headache to tell them who we are, but just bring them, the idea is to bring them, get eyeballs. But that is very like a small percentage of clients. And most clients, like you have to communicate something. You have to communicate that, this soap has like, this is a particular
99.9%.
Yeah. So you have to communicate. There's always something that you need to communicate. Without that, I think it's not advertising.
This outcome-driven approach is something you also deploy in your Facebook statuses, your LinkedIn posts, which you use to maintain writing fitness. And you've often said that you first try to think of what's going to be the hook that's going to make people share it or make people say, oh, finally someone said it, so true. These type of reactions that will actually make people share. And once you've set that in place, then you try to work backwards, you reverse engineer from there. Now, this outcome-driven approach is something they completely spoke against in movies like 3 Idiots, where they said, don't chase the results, don't chase the outcome. Self-help gurus, athletes, everyone, coaches, life coaches, they say, don't chase the final result, chase the process or the journey. So why do you think the outcome-driven approach works in this case?
See, I think there they were talking about like, say, career, all right? Like, don't become a copywriter maybe to become successful copywriter, but you should have fun like doing copywriting, or you should have fun working. I think that is like generally what even the athletes say, right? Like it is about the rigor, it is about the process, it is not so much about the result. Like every day waking up and doing this thing that you love and honing that craft, it's about that. Don't expect results for it. So for me, like, so when you look at it, I broadly agree with it, right? Like I did it for the money, obviously, like I still do it for the money, but I genuinely love doing it. If there was lesser money and I had to change my career, I would still do this, right? So I still chase like passion, but I think this is part of what I'm supposed to do, right? Like what I love most is expecting to get a reaction from someone and making them give me that exact same reaction with any piece of content that we've created. Like that is like the kick I get. So I'm still servicing my kick, which is, which, I mean, from the outside might seem like what you said, like an outcome that I'm working towards. But that outcome is my kick, right? It's like...
That's your job.
That's my job. And that's what I love doing the most, right? Like, and somewhere realizing, okay, it was not accident or fluke. You planned this. So if I want you to say like, this is the craziest, it's just January in 2026 and I did not see this coming. If I want you to get that, if I want that reaction from you, then designing something and then showing it to you and you giving me that reaction, I mean, that is the biggest kick, right?
Like a mentalist, like you nudged me in that direction.
So I think that is a high that you get.